That shit's funny.
Oh goddamn! I meant to cut on noise reduction.
I'm sorry.
Stop. Go ahead. 3, 2, 1, and we're live.
Bet. Here we go. Hey, we live. Let me check this out.
Let me ask you a question. A question.
What's going on, bro? There we go. There we go.
What does it mean to be a black man in America? What is modern society?
You want mine, or you want like a very prolific psychological answer? What you think?
Give me both of them.
All right. Well, you know the powerful, prolific, empowering answer is to be a survivor. You feel me? It's to like literally. It's to literally be overachiever. A defier of the odds. Persevere. Men of rhythm and class and legendary hierarchy that no other race can touch because there literally is motherland through our blood directly. You know what I'm saying? I think that is the true statement of what it means to be black in America. But my honest opinion, the sad truth of it all, I think being black in America means you always gonna have the underdog. You truly are. I mean, you call it what you want to call it, man. I think it's tough, man. It's tough, man. Because I don't think I really told you, but I'll tell the story on pod, man. So if you don't, I've always owned some sort of firearm since I've moved out of my mother's house. Mostly sticks, like shotguns and rifles and things of that nature. But I have recently purchased my first pistol and my first sidearm, however you want to call it. Be legit. Ordeal for me, man. So during my journey of trying to get my pistol, I was trying to find because I already took a carry and conceal class years ago. But I scheduled for my carry and conceal, which is in a few weeks. But I went ahead and got my gun permit. And in getting my gun permit, the process of, thanks to my man James right here, JP, giving me the upstand that I do need to get my permit. I do need to do all that stuff. So I went ahead, just got it done. One of my days that I was at students there, so really the day was over. I was just there to bullshit and was getting paid for it. One of my days, I'm like, I just ran up because literally my job is, James, I mean, the sheriff's department is literally down the street downtown, like literally like a 3-minute drive down the street. So
yeah, you work right beside that restaurant.
Right. I work literally.
I remember that.
So yeah, so I went walked to the sheriff's department, had my form because I had to get a form printed off. Now the form didn't say. Now I read the form. The form advised me department where they would notarize it, and because I already paid online, they would notarize my form, take my form there. To the sheriff's department, I walk in. When you walk into the sheriff's department, they make you go through a metal detector. You have to put all your items in a bucket, and there's a sheriff's officer that asks you what your purpose is. Yada yada yada. So I tell him, I'm like, hey, I'm here to get my gun permit notarized. So he gives me this look, like a very bigot look. He's one of those cops, man. He's one of those. I can tell for sure. He's not his spare minority when he's been given the chance. So. He's a good old boy. He's a good old. He is a. I would bet my bottom goddamn dollar. He's a good old boy. So I walk in. Look, that good old boys give black, brown, yellow men and women when they come in to get their firearms. Like, how dare you fucking nines want to get your weapons and arm yourself to stop us from shooting and killing y'all. Y'all want to arm yourselves now. It was kind of one of those looks, man. And I could be assuming, I could be typecasting just as hard as he is. But I feel that my reasoning is a lot stronger, and this is why. So I walk in. I take my out my pocket. I'm skipping some parts. I take my keys out my pocket, put it in the bin. One of my keys has a pocket knife. I apologize, not a pocket knife, a Swiss Army knife that I give by one of the homies. When he went out of town, he brought me a nice dope Swiss Army knife that I keep on my keys. He's like, you cannot bring that in there. I was like, I respect, because there's knives and everything else in there. It's a weapon at this point. So I was like, okay. I was like, well, I'll take that back to the car. He was like, well, what is your reasoning for being here? Anyway, I was like, well, I'm coming here to get my form notarized. The form said that I needed to come to the department to get it notarized out of it. He said, well, we don't do that anymore. I said, okay. I said, well, why don't you do it anymore? He said, well, we haven't done it for about 3 weeks. We don't notarize forms anymore. That's something that should be done off site and brought back already notarized. So I'm like, okay. And I was like, well, can I still walk in? He was like, you're more than welcome to do it, but you're not walking in with that Swiss Army knife. And I'm cool. I'm still being calm. So then I asked, well, if they're not able to notarize my form here, where can I go to get it notarized? He says, I don't know. And he gives me like just the coldest shoulder. Doesn't tell me that he probably does this a dozen times a day. He knows where people can go to get notarized at, White woman walked in front of me. Before I walked in, she walked in. She was already in line. So I'm like, you won't hold my and then I asked him, I was like, well, will you hold my Swiss Army knife with you so I can run into the sheriff's department? Excuse me. And just ask them, will they notarize it? Then I'll take my Swiss Army knife back to my truck. I'll come back and we can take it from there. He's like, no, I can't hold any of your personal belongings with me. So I'm like, all right, you're just being a douche right now. So we're going back and forth. He's not giving me nothing. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to walk back and I don't have the information that I need. So the lady that was in front of me just stepped, hey, sir. She was like, I'm so sorry. She was the same thing a couple of weeks ago. She said, if you go to the deed of registry across the street, I don't know if they're still notarized, but they did my notarization. And if you can get it, you can do it there. It was right across the way. I said, so I looked at her and I said, thank you, ma'am. I appreciate your help. And I looked at the cop and I just walked out. So now, when the deed of registry was right in front of me, it wasn't there. So when I finally got to the deed of registry, I walked in. I said, hey, do you guys do notarizations? They said no. So I said, fuck it. So I looked up on my phone and said, goddamn the UPS store. So I fucking drove to the UPS store by the convention center, got it notarized, came back, went to the sheriff's department, felt high and mighty, made sure to leave my Swiss truck this time. He's like, well, I'll take it from you. And I'll walk it in there for you so you don't have to wait and waste it. And now he's being nicer because that white lady, goddamn, was really kind to me. And she was just another civilian in the sheriff's department. And he was being douche, and now he wanted to be nice. And I was like, you could have just been nice, officer. We could have had a friendly exchange. So I was like, well, for forms to come. He was expecting in like 20 days. I said 20 days. I said, that's why I said this isn't even the carry and conceal. I've always heard we've been really busy lately. I said my guy's being a douche. If you would have just heard the tone, that you would have just heard. So the next day I called just to confirm. So I don't give a fuck. So I called and I could tell it was a black officer that picked up. I said, hey, by yesterday and I gave my gun permit. I got it noted. An officer took it from me and brought it in to say he dropped it in. And I was just calling to confirm. Desk. He said, yes, all forms made it. Tell me about the fucking next day. The next day, while I'm sitting through it was like premonition, bro. It was like crazy. I'm sitting through a gun safety active shooter training at the job. I get the text message and the email that says your gun permit form in the mail in the next couple of days. I said, man, you see that? Fucking evil and shiesty, man. I said, y'all niggas be really thinking we don't pick up. That just goes back the same, man. It's hard, man. You don't get the same respect. I'm a law-abiding citizen. I have no criminal charges felonies on my record, and I'm getting a second degree for a fucking gun permit. Now let my ass have been white. Let my ass have. I'll have a lot more respect, man. And that
motherfucker would have personally escorted you to that office, held your hand there.
Right. Facts. I mean, even with a pocket knife in my pocket, he would have been like, "No, don't worry about that, man." I'm telling you, because y'all have guns. What the fuck am I going to do with a Swiss Army knife? What do you guys? So what I'm saying is, bro. So what I'm saying is, yo, that goes back to what I'm saying. It's different for us, bro. It's different, man. You can't just walk in and get along the same way our vanilla counterparts can, dog. You can't just walk at night behind a group full of, let's just say it, white women, Middle Eastern women, and they not feel uncomfortable once you walk in front of them across to the other side of the street. It's different, bro. It's different. It's different, dog. I mean, so that's what I'm saying. Being black in America, in my opinion, is just tough, man. Everybody want to be black till it's time to be black and shit. You know what I'm saying? So
if you could be any other race, would you want to stick with being black, or would be a different race? If you had to choose?
Are we talking strictly like just for like status and like societal like betterment, or are we just talking strictly for me as a person, like my preference?
Just your preference.
Hell no, I'd rather be black, man. I like the way my shit look. I like the way my shit look when it's hard. I think I look handsome and beautiful. I think melanin is gorgeous. I like my swag. I like my style. I like the culture of being the black man. I like the strength that comes with me being a man. I love who I am. I do not hate who I am. But now, if we're talking strictly for business, I will most definitely be a white man named Paul. A white man named Paul Quickly. What? 800 credit score? What? What 401k already set up? I got $60,000 in the bank already. What? College paid for? Don't have to work for nothing? Oh man. But is that worth my happiness as a black man? It's not.
Absolutely not.
It's not though. It's not, man. Like I don't think I have the same. When you look at a lot of those white men, man, the shit they go through that causes them to even want to be mass shooters, man. We just been blessed in those areas, bro. Like we can, you don't know how much that shit fucks with your psyche, man. You can never satisfy a woman. Every woman you've been, and they want to date you because the stigma that comes along with being not all white. I'm not saying, but there's a stigma with it, bro. There's a stigma, and then not being outsourced is like a weak race of men. Not saying that's true because there's very much strong white men out there, but there's a lot of bad things that come with that shit, bro. Any race, man. I love being black, bro. And I'm a short black man. I'm only 5'8". Yeah, I love that shit with a passion. With a fucking passion, dog.
Ask you this question. Do you think that if you know Derek Chauvin, right? The white cop who killed George Floyd?
Yep.
Do you think that if Derek Chauvin was a black cop who kneeled on George Floyd's neck for however long, do you think that
George Floyd is still black?
George Floyd is black, yeah.
George Floyd I'm saying right?
Yeah, he is.
Okay.
If it was a black officer, do you think that he'd get the same reprimand as a white officer?
I want to say, first off, let me say this. First off, I don't think another black man was just staying on another black man's neck that long, no matter what he's done.
True.
Let me say that piece.
True.
The type of uncle to do evil to another fellow black man. That
I want to educate. Finish what you're saying.
Right. So the level of Uncle Tomness that I think would take for somebody to be that evil to their own kind, and I think black men still look out for each other, especially in the police department. So at least not trying to guide it. Maybe we're trying to arrest you, maybe we're trying to rough you up, but this to blatantly sit on your neck and cut off your air supply, I don't see that. But honestly, I think it would depend. Honestly, I don't think he would have got the same charges because I think the reason Derek Chauvin got what he got is because just a media storm that came with it, though. You know what I'm saying? I believe there still could have been some record. But nobody gives a fuck about black on black crime, even if it's police
That's what I was
brutality.
finna say, bro. That's exactly what I was finna say, bro.
Nobody gives a fuck about that shit, dog. But because it was a white man, that's just how
honestly, I bet if it was a black man, a black officer that killed a black man, he'd set him like a damn accommodation from the city or some crazy shit like that.
You crazy. But see, honestly,
it's sad. Like when it comes to black on black crime, like it's so ignored. Like it's almost like it's become complacent in today's society. Like expect it to happen. They expect black people to be violence against black people. It's kind of irritating.
Let me be the devil's advocate real fast because I've been in a few training classes, like I'm saying, just about this particular topic this week because I'm getting back into the school system. I follow up and I did the research. Do you know that most police brutality cases are white cops on white cops? I'm talking about it's like a 40-50% like difference from like the amount of black people in this country getting brutalized by by officers compared to white people. But I know this is as fact. That, and I mean, I don't agree with Trump in a lot of ways, man. I don't, but I will say that news because they will push the hell out of black people getting brutalized. As a whole, we know not to fuck with these officers, bro. We know that we get caught, we get jammed up. We either take our L or we figure a way to get out of it illegally. We're against the officers. That is a one and off. And did you see that video? I don't know if you even seen it a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. Somewhere in like Kentucky or somewhere out here, like in the Midwest or the South. I think it was Mississippi or something. Like 3 cops were on this white guy and they were
beating the shit out of him.
Where's that news coverage at, bro? Where's that news? I bet that shit happens all the time. Now that's one thing I said about them cops, but when I seen that, because I only recently seen it, like recently confirmed that stat, and it's real, bro. Like, I mean, it's still by the hands of the cops for sure. But the amount of white people probably get their ass beat and killed by the cops right now. And I honestly just start looking at videos. Like there's this video on YouTube where you can see like officers having to execute somebody, you know, like death by cop type situation. And there's so many Caucasian men like going out like that, bro. It's serious, bro. But it's just funny that if such a small percent of black men and women are dying by the officers, that's what they blow up though. It's still bad. It's still horrible, regardless. But it makes you think a little bit. Makes you think a little bit.
Statistic that
what's that?
Black people make up about 37% of the population.
I thought it was like 15%. I thought it was like 10 to 15%.
It's approximately 37%.
Really?
And 67% of the prison population in America.
You said how much percent?
67% of the prison population in America. People.
That's a goddamn shame. See, the numbers don't add up then. If majority of police brutality are white men, how the fuck are you having to beat somebody ass up but they not going to prison? How's that shit working out?
Like I'm really want to know, like, what if, let's take that scenario you was talking about, because actually I have it pulled up right here. I'm gonna share my screen for a minute. Because I'm really curious. Let's say we're walking down the street and we see this shit, man, and we see these cops. This dude, like you see this dude, he's not resisting. He's covering his head. This cop is meaning.
Yeah.
Beating the little shit out of him. If let's say we're walking down the street and we see this, and we as citizens say, "Dude, we're not going to take this shit. We're going to intervene." What happens to us then? This that we're seeing, this is our tax dollars.
And the cop pointed at him and told him to leave. They used to beating somebody's ass.
I really want to know what would happen if the cash really did stand up as a whole and say, "Bro, we're not taking this shit. We're done. Like, we're done taking this shit," and we flip the fuck out. What would happen?
But you know they already prepared for us to goddamn try to revoke. That's why they fight so hard for this Second Amendment, and they try to keep these guns up. Why the hell you think I got me some? I got shotties rifles and a pistol. We better get a couple more pistols. I ain't trust none of these things. As much as they waiting for us to flip shit, I'm waiting for them to flip shit. I ain't waiting. That's why my ass is devastated that I'm finna call tomorrow and be like, hey, the guy who's coming to do the FFL, I need him to have my number. Y'all put my number on because I looked at my box and everything. They would not get that license. Could not, I guess, just submit, finalize the purchase or the pickup, whatever it is. I'm finna goddamn leave my shit. I'm finna call them tomorrow. Like, hey, I need y'all to have my number now. I need y'all to be able to call me as soon as he picks my shit up because he going somewhere even further to like an actual gun range to finalize my order. I said, this is some bullshit. I hate I didn't research where I was letting that shit go. I would have sent that shit directly to a gun range.
Yeah. I mean, you live and you learn, though. You live and you learn, bro.
Hell yeah. Oh yeah, man. I ain't beat myself up like that, but
let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
If you were walking down the street and you seen what happened to George Floyd happened, and there was a cop truly kneeling on someone's neck, and there was a group of people around it, and everyone's yelling for this cop to stop, pretty much ignoring you, just sitting there chilling with his knee on his neck. Do you believe that as a person, would you intervene and push that officer off, or what would you do? Would you record it? What would be your...
I really want to believe it, and I really want to say that I would be one to like do some heroic shit and tackle the cop and take my ass because they're gonna beat your ass after you tackle them. You
beat the shit out of you.
Cops. Yeah, you ain't walking away from cops. Tackling the cop, and you save somebody's life. They're gonna beat the shit out. They're gonna take it out on you, and you gonna get arrested. And so I really, to my heart of hearts, I mean, in my heart of hearts, that I would be the one to take the lick, like just to save somebody's life. And I think in me to do it, but bro, I'll be lying to you that's a curiosity we all have to think about when we see these videos. What would I do in that situation? And honestly, man, who's to say that you won't just be another bystander yelling at him to stop because that fear in the back of your mind, like, why should I really risk my life? Not just for somebody who's about to die, but is this person even worth it? I know it. Because a human life is a human life, you know what I'm saying? But let's say this man did some like heinous shit, you know, like was fucking with kids or something. Yeah, does he deserve to die?
But still,
right.
Judicial system for a reason.
Right. Now that's what I was about to jump on. Does he deserve to die for it? Does he not deserve the right to stand in front of a judge in a room in years and be judged against his crimes? You know, humane, like should there still showing him even though he might have did something heinous? Yes, the answer is yes. You know what I'm saying? But I know all that shit because it's just like fight or flight. You know what I'm saying? When you're in that situation, you can't really train for that shit. You can only options and train for possibilities. I mean, because if you're walking out and you just had a good time, and you look over and there's a like young Indian dude just getting his ass beat by 3 big cops. Do you just keep walking, or are you really just gonna risk you having a good night and making it home safely? You're gonna run into that fray, tackle one of the cops, push him off, and you know you're finna get your ass beat. Like, you're not walking away from that unscathed, even if it's not physically. Your ass finna get locked up, and you finna get pushed and go downtown to the precinct and get detained and get booked, and you finna have all that shit, and you gonna have some shit on your record for an officer. So, I mean. James, I really want to say, I gotta be realistic, and I gotta be, and then who's to say that your woman ain't with you, and she ain't swaying your opinion and your judgment because you might be gearing yourself up, like, I'm finna go stop, and she's like, no, don't. You have me, you have life, you have a family. Let's say you have kids with this woman, and you're like, am I gonna throw it away for somebody I don't know? Then it's like, can you live with yourself? It's a lot. What would you do, bro? Like, honestly.
Again, like you said, it's like the whole fight or flight thing. So you don't really know until you're in that scenario. Like, everyone says, man, I got a gun. I'll shoot someone, blah, 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 this. You never know what you're going to do until you're in that scenario, and you have to do that. Realistically, I want to say I would at least run up and just push that cop off, and in my mind, I would say if I did that, I save someone's life. I mean,
right.
At the end of the day, it's still a black man that unfortunately died from literally being choked to death. But that's honestly a really tough one. Like I want to say I probably would, but who knows? I mean, because like you said, shit, you run up on the cop, bro, you're liable to get shot.
Right. I mean, and what's the point of I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure just the trauma and the horror. I mean, funny. I mean, but honestly, like all the men, the man in New York who got killed like 10, 15 years ago for like selling single cigarettes, and he was choked out. Eric Gardner, right? Just like George Floyd, I believe those people that were watching and videotaping, I think rap like when there's cops involved, I don't think people don't want to do it. It's gonna take a really brave, stand-up individual who's just gonna see all that confrontation in his face and all that, and still like, fuck it, I'm gonna just do it. That's somebody who's really their life where they're happy taking that L, because you're gonna take an L saving somebody's life in that situation. It's not like you saving somebody from a burning building. You're attacking the law. Goddamn it, you're attacking officers who have the right to shoot your ass and arrest your ass. A lot of people are going to be hesitant. I think, I know myself, I really would. I do like helping people, and I have jumped out a million crash that flipped over, and they're in need of assistance. I've done it. I know I'm willing to help, but bro, that is some serious. Honestly, I think maybe the drunkenness would goddamn give me motivation to goddamn do it. Just run over there. Because if I'm sober, bro, it's going to be tough as hell if I'm sober. I'm not even going to lie to you.
I agree with you. If I was drunk, I know for a fact I'd do it. I've swung on cops when I was drunk. I have done.
So what I'm saying, the alcohol gives you goddamn liquid courage. I know, but goddamn, boy. But goddamn, I ain't gonna hold you, bro. That shit kind of for the birds, man. I don't even want to goddamn. But yeah, my final answer is, bro. Yeah, I would like to do it. I got a little lighthearted question, man. If you did have to serve in the branch of our military, which branch would you want to serve in, and why?
Truly, So I'm gonna give you a two-part answer on this.
All right.
A lot of people don't know this. I actually went to a military school for a little bit on a football scholarship when I was in ninth grade. I fucked it off. I got kicked out like 2 months after getting admitted to the school. I did a lot of dumb shit. Got kicked. Yes, I got kicked out of a fucking military school.
There you go.
However, let's that. At one point, I was all for the military. I wanted to personally go into the Marine Corps, but as I got older and I did more research, and I grew as a black man and as an individual, I personally feel, and please, no one take offense to this. Please, fuck the military. I feel like as a black man or as a black woman, no, absolutely not. Say that for our counterparts. Bro, go save the country, bro. You done fucked it off for the past 600 years. You could afford to go ahead, put your life on the line, go to Afghanistan, go to Iraq, go to Kuwait, put some bombs, do that shit, bro. You got it. We're gonna be over here chilling. We'll support you with a couple. There, we'll send a UAV. But as far as me going, nah, I'm sorry, bro. I can't do it.
Yeah.
But again, younger me, I was all for it. I wanted to go in the Marine Corps. I was all for it.
So you wouldn't be down for getting drafted? Would you draft dodge not here?
No. I mean, keep me real, Chris. Matter of fact, I got a homeboy in the military right now. I told his black nigga who was in Jacksonville, Florida. I was like, bro, I support it. If you want to go in the Army, bro, I support you 100%. But the same shit I just said, you upset to him. I was like, at the end of the day, bro, it's your decision. I got you back. That's what you decide to do. And
Right.
speaking of which, his birthday is actually coming up. I'm actually going to holler at him soon.
Okay.
Yeah. What about you? What about you?
Honestly, it's a close decision between the Marines and the SEALs, only because I feel like those are the sexy branch ones, man. Like, you know, you come back home and say I was in the Coast Guard, you know, you might get a couple, you might get a couple goddamn hugs and high fives and some sugar. But you come back and say I'm a Marine or I'm a SEAL? What? You know what kind of style? I would have jacked up.
Coming back saying that you are and you part of the NASA program, bro, that's pretty badass.
Right. NASA, no, I didn't say nothing about NASA. NASA's fired. Those are some smart ass dudes over there. You gotta be like damn near top tier.
Air Force, that's what I'm saying. Like, imagine being an Air Force pilot.
Say it again.
I said, imagine being an Air Force pilot and you get tied in with going to an outer space mission one day. That would be dope as fuck.
Hell yeah, I think an astronaut's doper than a damn Air Force pilot. I mean, I think they're both respectable. I think they're both hella respectable, and I know Air Force gets a bad rap, but not Air Force, but I guess Space Force is still a thing. I don't fucking know. Being an astronaut is the shit, man. Astronaut is the shit. But I had a question for you. I don't know if you've heard about it. How do you feel about the George Foreman situation? Have you heard about that?
I have not.
Well, just to give you a quick rundown of what's going on, 2 women have come forward to sue George Foreman. I don't even think they're trying to put him in jail right now. They're trying to sue him for possible sexual assault allegations from 1970.
I remember this. What's going
on, man? Let's talk about it, man. What's going on with these young ladies, or I guess older ladies at this point? These women coming after these powerful, and I'm gonna say there's been a wave of powerful black men. What's going on, man? What do you think?
And dude, I hate to be the guy to say this, but I would truly like to know the financial situation they are currently in. They're two allegations. I'd love to know that. I'd absolutely love to know that. You know,
my thing is, what evidence? 70s.
Time out though. Let's not say that, because I don't know if you've kept up with Emmett Till case. You remember Emmett Till, correct?
Oh, I know who Emmett Till is. There's still a case going on about it right now?
Believe it or not, dude, there's so much about Emmett Till, bro. Woman of the Movement. If you have not seen it, you have to see it. Woman of the Movement. Long story short, once that movie came out, a lot of people started doing more research about Emmett Till and what happened and all that shit, right?
Yeah, the shit was devastating.
Very devastating. Long story short, one lady, a part of that, who claimed that Emmett Till whistled at her, like the main lady who initiated everything, she was actually currently still alive in Raleigh, North Carolina. Very, very recently, they discovered a warrant in Mississippi, dated back from like the 19 happened, I can't remember, for her arrest, and there was actually first of that. The reason I'm bringing that in is because I feel like with the law, I personally feel like you can't pick and choose. You know, like there's evidence, point blank period, bring it to justice.
Right.
That's why I'm saying that. Like, if you have the evidence to say, yes, this happened December 21st, 1973, and it's true concrete evidence, bring it to light, and I feel like it should be handled accordingly. But however,
right,
your memory you're going off of and possible fact, every year your memory changes, dude. Every single fucking year.
Exactly.
I can't believe all the allegations that just pop up. I feel like ever since what's my man's name? Bill Cosby. Years ago. I feel like it's just been trickling. Bill Cosby, R. Kelly. George Foreman. I mean, who knows? Who else? Maybe it's true. Maybe my nigga George Foreman was out here slapping bitches and fuck. I don't know.
But these women knew what they were into. Like back in the day, you knew Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby might have been a clean comedian and had the Bill Cosby show, but niggas knew who Bill Cosby was in Hollywood. People knew who George Foreman was. You knew who Mike Tyson was. You knew who these guys were. You knew who Michael. What's my guy's name? Playing for the Cowboys. Moving on though. You knew who these guys were. You knew they were doing drugs. You knew they were drinking. You knew they were popping mollies. Woo! They were doing it all. They were turning the fuck up. So for you to act like you didn't know what environment you were going into and the type of individual you were trying to impress, and I want to know how many women. Like, hey, we just gonna say it. How many of y'all were just out here sleeping with the celebrities, hoping to get pregnant, maybe get a bag off of it, maybe cop a man, and you just seen everything going on right now. You were like, well, if I ever get into some financial woes, I'm gonna pull this thing out. And honestly, I mean, sorry, not sorry. How many of y'all just out here doing it? How many of y'all out here just pulling the reverse Uno on somebody because you goddamn struggle? You gotta be like, well, I slept with George Foreman. I need $50,000 right now, and because my thing is, you're not even trying to get justice. You're just trying to get a paycheck. That's crazy. You're not even trying to press charges because there's no charges that you can press without any evidence. But you want a lawsuit though. That's crazy. That's crazy. Leave that old man alone, man. It's something about going after these old men, old black and white men, man. Like, I'm not saying people weren't doing anything, but how much justice are you really looking for if you years pass and now you're trying to chase somebody? I wouldn't even let
my baby mama would do.
I wouldn't even let these stories come to light, bro. Like, I wouldn't even give these accusers the time of day if you've waited over. I'm talking about over decades. Like, we're not talking under 1 decade, maybe a couple years. We're talking decades. You've waited decades before you told anybody in the law enforcement division. That's just crazy. That's just really crazy. It's 2023. This shit happened in the 70s. That's 50 years. That's plus 50 years. That's just crazy. 40 years at minimum. George probably don't even remember that shit. You know how many women he's probably slept with? He probably didn't even know who y'all was when y'all started making allegations against him. He's like, who the hell are you?
Back in the 70s, everybody was doing drugs.
Yeah, everybody was high. Y'all probably was at his hotel, came in his lobby, was butt naked in his bed when he got done with a fight or partying or something. He didn't know.
But another thing that I will say is, I don't know, I feel like this is more directed towards females personally. Mm-hmm. I feel like a lot of females avoid accountability and responsibility with certain shit and certain actions they take. And they try to push off that accountability as much as they can in order to make themselves feel better. And they fail to realize that you can only push it off so much. Like, shit's eventually going to come to a boil. Mm-hmm. Accountability and responsibility.
Yep.
It's the two failures of this newest generation. They don't understand either. They rather make excuses and not help themselves. Their actions. Let me ask you this question: how do you feel about that new bill that was just passed by Biden, where they're forgiving all student loan debt? How do you feel about that?
There's a particular requirement you need. I think you get like $10,000 off for something and $20,000 for. Let me make sure I get it before I start speaking on it. Yeah, I was just talking about it with Fresh. Let me see. All right, these. I think it's like $10,000, $20,000. Let me see. Okay. Yeah. Let me see. Yeah.
Just stop in the background. It was fucking killing me.
Okay.
All right, we're back live.
All right. Yeah, no, like I was saying, the Joe Biden thing, it's hella good, bro. I mean, I think that it's for anybody that is actually qualified for it and is actually receiving the benefit from it, it's great for you. It's amazing. I mean, 10, 15, maybe even $20,000 from your student loan completely forgiven. That's good, man. That's good for anybody that can get it. I'm not mad at anybody that's able to come out the mud like that, because dropping that shit is gonna be a benefit. I don't give a damn.
So let me ask you this question: Do you believe that is attributing to stopping people from holding themselves accountable that they incur on themselves? Do you believe that's kind of pushing that bridge a little bit? What's your point? What's your point on that? Or stand on that?
I'm sorry. Can you reword it for me one more time? I want to make sure I get what you're saying.
So, like, accountability and responsibility.
Yeah.
Do you believe that Congress passing that bill kind of gives more reason not to want to hold themselves accountable and responsible for debt that they incur? Do you believe that?
I don't want to say people are responsible for. I think I don't know. Good for the economy. Let's imagine that you went to school, you got you a nice paying job or whatever. But let's say you owe. I mean, because at the same point you had to still have paid your loan down to a certain amount before you allow. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, let's say you were a doctor or something and you got like $100,000 in student loans, but you've paid it down. You've paid $70,000 of it, right? Like, I mean, them knocking off $15,000 isn't gonna get you completely out the whole view that I can be. I start taking this money, this large amount of money, the salary that I'm earning, and I don't have to be throwing it away to student loans. I can start investing in myself. I can start buying property.
But here's the thing, though, like
business.
But how many people actually go to college, ride out the 2 years, the 4 years, 6 years, 8 years, 10 years, whatever it is, fully ride it out, then get out of college and go into the field? For how often is that? Because I haven't done the research on that in a while. The last time I did that, the numbers were super fucking low.
Right. I think, and here's my thing even with that. And school is only preparation, because we're both gun-toting Americans. I talk about it like this, gun-toting. We all can go to the gun range, get real good at shooting, get real nice, learn how to pull out our holster, load it up, drop the mag, add a new mag, load up a mag by hand in under 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? We can learn how to do all of that. But if you get in a shootout with somebody, it's very possible not both of y'all gonna walk away from that. You know what I'm saying? So I think school is the same way. We all go to school. We all have the same opportunity. We all prepare. We all do our best. We all get the grades. We all get the understanding. But it's competitive out here, man. There's not enough jobs. There's not enough jobs out here for all of us, man. We all imagine how many people go to school just for all business jobs. I go to school for marketing, right? I'm a high marketing major. There's no jobs for marketing. You don't think I'm gonna take me a sales job? Because that's the next best option. You know what I'm saying? So that's taken away from the people who went to school for sales. So now the sales job was getting made up because everybody who actually went to school for sales and everybody who went to school for a different business major, their job is filled up. So we're gonna start eating up the sales. We're gonna start eating up tech sales, insurance sales. You can start eating up everything. So now, what are you going to do? Let's say you spend all this money, you got all of this education, you can't find a job in your field. Positions won't start opening up because when you get in these fields, already started out making $70,000 a year with commission bonuses and the opportunity for promotions and advance. through your salary and commission that you make, you could be making $200,000 a year at some time. People aren't leaving their jobs when you get into one. You're going to get into one, and you're going to bunker down, and you're going to thug it out for 30 years because you're making life changing money.
There's been a lot of studies shown that our modern generation, and I'm talking about from 85 forward, they don't stick with jobs like modern day society. They're happy to job hop. They're very happy to job hop.
Right.
You know, like look how many people in this country that live out of vans, live out of buses, live out of trailers that travel the country and just job hop. I mean,
right.
There's a
but what are you going to
do that?
But what are you? You're not hopping to a job that's already paying you the same amount that you're hopping up. You're not hopping linear. You're not hopping down. You're hopping upwards. You're hopping at an incline. So more jobs that are higher paying jobs, more higher sophisticated, high value jobs are still getting ate up. So these are the jobs that people are going to school for. People are getting out of education and they're getting out of social work, like social office, like a police officer or a firefighter. So these jobs are the ones that are left on the table. These are the jobs that need to be filled. But nobody wants to put their life on the line. Nobody wants to waste their time, effort, because like you just said, this generation is all about what can I do to move forward before the next person, because it is a very competitive world. People are doing things on the internet. Nobody just has one job. Look at our celebrities. Back in our parents' days, an actor could have just been an actor, a singer, or a dancer on top of it, but they were just an actor. Look at it now. You got actors that are rappers, singers, do a podcast, own a studio, like is maybe a part-time realtor. You know, like sell cars, fix cars. Like you're doing a lot of things, because if you only are good at one thing, you're going to be behind. You could be a master at that shit, but we're most definitely in the day of being a jack of all trades, master of none. Because you'd rather be good at a few things instead of being a master at one thing, because being a master at one thing is only going to get you a certain amount.
You know, did you know there's a lot more to that quote?
Oh, or do elaborate.
Second.
Football this week, I think, is coming back this week.
Oh, football starts this week?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the full quote is: "A jack of all trades is a master of none, but sometimes master of one."
Yeah, but it makes sense though. Would you not rather be hella decent at like a dozen things, or would you rather just be good at one thing?
And you hit the nail on the head when you said that. That is exactly why I'm coming back.
Right.
Coming back to grow my business.
Right, but I'm saying, what do you think is more important? Like, let's say you're in a very successful rock band. What's more impressive? You being able to play a guitar like nobody else on this planet, or you to be able to play every other goddamn instrument they bring in there, all at the same level of about 80%?
I agree. It will be better. Be more versatile. I agree.
Right, so
I can agree with that.
So I mean, my black ass jump on everything. I'm not satisfied with doing one thing too long. When I feel like I get to a place that I'm good and I can maintain it just at a lower frequency level, I'm trying to do something new. Why do you think I enjoyed being out of school? My ass ready to go back to school. We trying to do this podcast. I'm still trying to do. I haven't done YouTube in months, but I still have my YouTube channel and I still got my videos up. But whenever I'm ready to go back to that YouTube shit, I'm gonna do it. But I got other shit I'm doing. I'm not satisfied. I need to have it now. I don't want to thug out for 3 more years and get my YouTube channel built slow and I start making a couple. I want to be able to make several $100,000 at my day job and YouTube just be a byproduct of whatever the fuck I want to do. I don't want to have to rely on none of this shit. I want all this shit just to be a good time for me. This is like a very successful, lucrative hobby. That's all I want it to be.
It definitely can be, brother. It definitely can be.
Mm-hmm. Let me see. So yeah, you didn't answer the question about keep going on about the you were starting real good about the Joe Biden forgiving student loans. What else were you trying to say that it was a negative? Why?
I just personally feel like it helps. How do I work this? I believe it promotes people from being fully accountable for actions they take. Like, you know, I went to college to do this, it didn't work out. I can fall back. Shit, that didn't work out. Government's going to take care of my debt. I just got to get down there. I mean, why is that fair for someone else to have to take care of your debt?
James, you being a Trump supporter, why are Trump supporters so violent, though?
That I can't attest for. I cannot attest for that. I am not a violent person, but I will say this. There is a lot of violence that Trump does incite. I will agree hands down. Part of why I support Trump is because he has a good business model. Let's get that first and foremost.
Explain that to me. I hear a lot of people saying that. Like, also, are y'all comfortable with him running the country like a business?
Country is business.
You think so?
Absolutely. Okay. This country depends and it drives on money. It drives on money going in and it drives on money coming out. That's what a business is. If country being a business, who knows where we'd be? Like, you feel me? We wouldn't be able to afford to do the shit that we normally do. And my personal thing is, there's so many career politicians that get into the position to become the president, and they become blindsided at the fact that the job of represent the people is to stand for what the people want. And I strongly do believe that with some career politicians, like that they don't have the capability of running a successful business. Now, I might be wrong saying that. I mean, some of these career politicians, they might run a business on the side. I'm not sure. But from what I can see from the outside looking in and from the research I have done, Trump's business have failed. They failed because he allowed them to fail. It wasn't just like I started this business and it fucked over. No. He started a business, it wasn't going well, he pulled out of it. It's not like it just straight failed. You know, not every business is a very tricky thing. Just like running a country is a very tricky thing. And if someone can successfully successfully run multiple businesses, I believe that person has the capability of being able to successfully run a country and successfully get a country on a track to where it needs to be.
Yeah. No. But here's my thing. Do you not feel that a level of political science is required for the position of presidency? Do you think that him just... I mean, as well of a businessman as Trump can be, he's not well prepared. We can both attest to for like speeches.
I don't believe that anything about politics that needs to be brought into presidency. And the reason that is what I said, the president is here to represent the people and build a country. Politics is a joke. If you look back to historically in this country, when America was first built, George Washington said a two-party system will be the failure of America's judicial system. Look at the shit show now.
Oh, yeah. Yep. I agree with in saying that you said that the president is a representation of us as a country. Do you consider Donald Trump a great representation of us all as a country?
No. That motherfucker dumbass in some aspects. Not keeping it. But he got shit done. I mean, look at it. Like, when Trump was in office, historically, the GDP was at its lowest it's been in over 20 years.
Yeah.
You know, jobs were coming in, the economy. Then COVID happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, shit. Right now, look at it. I mean, keep it real. Look at it from a business standpoint. When Trump was in office, was it what $2.50 a gallon, something like that? Am I right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's how you see below $3 a gallon. I mean, it might be different in North Carolina right now.
No, hell no.
Thank you. And a lot of people say that politics and gas prices don't correlate. Bullshit on that. I call absolute bullshit on that one.
He said bullshit. Hey, well, it's for sure. 1 second.
Do you think if it wasn't for his cocky arroganceness?
Well, because like I said, because I don't know everyone's policy as expertly as everybody else that swears they're an expert at this topic. I only know really preliminary type information. I do look at your character, and I don't know, unless Trump did like a full 180 with his attitude, which I then would assume would be fake. I don't know. I don't know. It honestly would have to be the lesser of two evils. It depends on who will be running against them. If a Democrat just came out worse than Trump, then it's like, God damn it, I'm not loyal to the Democratic Party. I am a universal voter, so I will believe it's the best man or woman for the job. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna be goddamn swayed by my party. I honestly just haven't been impressed, because who was the only president that we voted for was, Trump and Biden were the last presidents we voted for.
Yep.
So
we could have voted for Barack.
Right, and I most definitely would have voted for Barack for all the cliche reasons. So,
absolutely. So
that's not a good measuring stick either. Trump just said a lot of wild shit, man. Because like we talked about earlier, before Trump was president, niggas fuck with Trump, man. Black people, everybody. Also, he had the Apprentice. He was a great businessman. He had the Trump Towers. Everybody wanted to stay at the Trump Towers.
He was even on WWE for a little bit, wasn't he?
Right, he was. I mean, if Trump really played his cards right, he could have goddamn finessed, been a nice guy, been everybody's favorite white uncle, and probably had a way better time. But because he came out with that wild shit and that alt-right shit super hard, and most definitely had an agenda behind what he was saying, he turned a lot of people off, bro. We couldn't even hear his policies and what he was planning to do for the country because he was just so radical, bro. It was like that shit was off-putting, man. I think a lot of people like myself who couldn't just see the good that he was even talking about doing, if there was some there, and I don't know what he was saying. I just had to see it happen when he was president. You couldn't even see it if you were just somebody like me, and it was like, I want to know the character of my president to see if he's somebody I want representing me, myself, in this country that we call home. Trump was just wild, bro. But you know.
But would you agree that Trump got shit done?
Oh, yeah, he most definitely got things done. I wouldn't take that from him, and I do think that has to, that's an testament to his party and his cabinet, and I think was it the Senate that had a Republican Party that was holding the Republicans. I think a combination of that and it was a good team effort. He was just a shit show. He made it tough for everybody. He had a good cabinet that really tried to keep him together, give him the right speeches, tell him how to act. He was the one that was still acting like he was on TV in a reality TV show. He was the one that made it the best TV show America had for those 4 years. He did it. And nobody else did it. So
you can see some.
Oh man, I don't know, man. I do not know. I don't know if I want that drama. Maybe on a smaller level, maybe like a school board position. Maybe doing something for my community because I already want to do philanthropy work. I wouldn't mind being in, rubbing elbows with people who could help invest and help donate and give back to the community. I wouldn't mind being of that caliber. But like being a political official, I don't know. I don't even think I care about. And I don't think I would even be willing to learn, even though the title would be nice. It would be nice to have on your resume. Like I said, it would have to be a smaller position. Anything for the kids. Chris love the kids. I do something for the kids. I do something for maybe, runaway girls, down bad men and women in the city. I'll do something like that. Anything that will benefit directly to the people who are less fortunate than I am. I can see myself doing that.
Well, I'm less fortunate than you are. I need about $3,000. So what's up? This nigga don't cut his camera off. Oh, fuck you.
Yeah. What was you saying? I couldn't hear you. Say it again, dog.
Fuck you.
Say it again, dog. Say it again. I couldn't hear you, bro.
You good, bro. You good.
Okay.
You good.
Okay. I thought you said something, dog. I apologize. My guy.
Niggas. I'm gonna stop the watching for a minute.